Everyone's getting that Letterman fever.
It's a fever pitch.
So that when the Stengel brothers bring him in Wednesday morning,
It's going to be huge.
oh, it's going to be great.
It's going to be huge.
Please let Anthony back for that show.
Just one show.
We only got one show. One show. Bump. Bump, 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 bump.
Bum, 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 bum.
What was the name of that crazy band?
Black Eyed Peas.
Oh, yeah. I had a small problem with the Black Eyed Peas. All right, well, they were here once to go in and do That Channel Next Door. I don't know why you're laughing. It's something that you should have taken care of. And we were looking at them and discussing them, right, through the window. And we're like, yeah, they're kind of wacky, but she's hot. I'm not sure about that, dude. But they had left the monitors on out there, so the Black Eyed Peas were hearing us sit and discuss them. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so
I remember
cringy.
I said specifically, I don't know why people shit all over Fergie. She looks pretty damn good to me.
Oh, God.
No. This story makes me want to tear off my skin.
Yeah.
I'm so uncomfortable.
So then a thing went out. Interns, keep the monitors off in the halls. That came from the top.
Oh, God.
Well, we only got one world. But we thought that band was going to be amazing there for a while.
I know, that song kind of...
What are you doing?
That song kind of
Seeing if it works?
Yeah.
was great.
Does it throw you off?
Was great.
Yeah. You just did the thing. You need eye contact to sell. He's driving me crazy myself. But he's changed from where we were when we started this show.
He's producing.
Yeah. You can't do both, I guess. You can't be in the moment and sit and click stuff. Personally, I would have waited till we got to a commercial break to do that, but that's me. I'm old school that way. I went to an older one-room schoolhouse out west, and the teacher, I saw a gang come into town on horses, dragged her out in front of everybody, and shot her.
Jesus.
And they said, this is what we do to goat ropers. And that's why I became Billy the Kid.
That's some school you went to.
Yeah. And you know the name of it?
What's that?
USC. Oddly enough, it has gotten so much better over the years. It was just, there was a school marm there was a well. We would have to leave early when it was planting season.
We
So
had
wh-
to help in the fields.
What were you trying to say before the weirdness started?
That song was good, and then they took a turn. I can't remember.
Yeah,
It was not that
it was only the one song. It was the one song that was enjoyable, where you were like, hey, is there a Sly and the Family Stone thing coming here?
Yeah, exactly.
And the answer is no.
No,
there isn't.
And then instead you got my humps.
My humps. My lady lumps.
Incredible lyrics.
Yeah. And at that point, with the future was coming at us so fast, I'm like, maybe human beings could have humps that they could store water into.
That could be what she was singing about.
Yeah. Human humps. Human back humps. Sometimes you look at the camel, and like when you're really thirsty, and you look at a camel and he looks at you like, well, I'm not. Because my refreshing hump. My hump.
It's so weird.
My
to have
lady lump.
a water sack on your back.
Yes, you can bring that in. No, not you. You got you want to hand it because it's all?
Thank you.
Nice delivery service.
Let me see over there, Stanley. Stanley, you run a...
Don't know why we're on the air, Steve.
Oh, this does look interesting.
I'm going to take that and store it in my hump.
The water hump? It's good for other things besides liquid?
First of all, there isn't any other kind of hump but a water hump. There's not an ice cream hump. It would be nice. Now, here's the thing about the water hump on the camel. Do they get to taste it as they're releasing water from their hump?
No, I don't think the hump has direct pipage into the mouth. I think it's just giving them...
Do you think that the water hump is cold or warm?
No, I think it's hot water.
See, that makes me
body
upset.
temperature.
Because if it was cold and I was riding around in the desert, in the Arab desert, on a hump, I might do this. I might just take an ice pick, put it into the back, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then just let the water sprinkle out on my belly and crotch while I rode my camel around. And everybody else is like, is it hot today? I'm going, not me, dude. Once you get your belly and your crotch cool, everything is cool.
What you need is a nice beer tap on that hump.
That would be nice. But if you're telling me hot water, I guess I would just use it for tea, just to make a tea for myself. I don't even know if I was in the desert so thirsty and they said, all we have is hot water. I'm like, no thanks.
I say I'll have a handful of sand.
I'm going to wait until I see a 7-Eleven.
There any oases around here?
Oasi, when there's more than one.
Got it. Oasi?
If I were out, if like all of us were riding around in the desert and we're on our camels with the water humps, and I was getting really like hot and couldn't stand it, I would be like this to you guys. I'm thinking Champagne Supernova. So you guys know that I want to go to an oasis. But I would never say it. You know what I mean? That would be my thing. I would try to do slang so I never would have to say oasis. Where you just like, you just hear this coming from like, someday you may find me. Then you guys are like this. Yeah, I get it. We're looking for an oasis, Ryan. Stop singing about them.
That might actually freak me out if I was dehydrated. Like someone singing Mickey Mouse Club.
If I can somehow genetically change humans to having a water hump the way I've always dreamed, then we'll have no more use for the camel. And it'll die out. And it'll just be people in cars with nice humps.
You're kind of like the Dr. Moreau of this show.
I'd like to think that he's the Dr. Bennington of that island.
Now, will the human humps have like some sort of mucus or like secretion from like the inside of the body, or is it straight up water?
I think it's going to be in like a sac, like in some sort of a womb, a water womb.
Yeah, but it'll be a bladder. It'll be a bladder.
Like a bladder.
So yes, inside there will be no secretions. It'll be pure H2O. And if my calculations are correct, freezing cold.
Oh, yes. I love a nice ice water hump.
It'll be 34 degrees, so it won't actually start to freeze over.
This is actually starting to sound delicious.
All right, first of all, you would have no more worries. And it'll be great for teachers because they would say to the kids, no, you're not getting a pass. Just drink out of your hump right now. After that, I hope they'd make a piss hump on each knee. Now, if you're working on this, would you rather have a human hump or gills like Waterworld?
I think for me, gills, because the hump is kind of grossing me out.
Gross, or you're becoming even more interested?
Like, I'm interested in someone else maybe having a hump.
Ew.
But I don't think I don't think I want one of my own. Also, I think I'd have back problems. And then you're taking out the fear of drowning completely. It's not even an option. You will not die by water.
Oh, if you have gills?
Yeah.
Yes, but you could die on land because your gills aren't getting
Wait,
it.
I have to give up my lungs?
Well, haven't you ever seen a fish in a boat? It looks so uncomfortable.
But I thought Waterworld status where I've got lungs and gills both, like an amphibian.
You can't have both.
Situation.
Waterworld did have both, though. She has brought up a good point. He had both, and he seemed to do well with both. I didn't understand that it was a gill, so I saw the movie Waterworld, and I was watching at 42nd Street, and I yelled out, "That man's got a vagina behind his ear," and I got a very nice laugh.
The thing is, he didn't have a hump, and that's why he had to drink his own pee.
He was a piss drinker, but that was just based on Kevin Costner.
Wow,
that had nothing to do with anything else that was going on.
He actually didn't know they were rolling when he did that.
Shit, was that on?
And that was such a great moment. They actually decided to keep it.
Well, they also didn't have as much tape. And they're like, we might as well use it.
This is going in.
Should we keep that part where he drinks his own pee?
Pissy. I had somebody on years ago that drank their own pee, and then Paulo was on, and he drank his with them. But his were like, it was like weirdly cloudy. You know what I mean?
God.
Like this other guy was like a yogi or something, but
Right.
Polo had just been eating, chocolate Cocoa Puffs or whatever for breakfast. So his piss was very cloudy, and I saw something floating
No.
in it.
Jesus.
Just,
How did he pass it?
I believe it was a sand spur.
Oh.
God.
And he kept it stored in his hump.
His lovely lady lump.
Stanley, hump, or would you rather have the ear vaginas?
I'll have to weigh the pros and cons. So with the ear vaginas, I never have to worry about not being able to swim. But with the hump,
Yes, you do still have to be able to swim, you idiot.
but I won't die if I fall in the water.
Yes, but you don't want to be walking around on the bottom of these rivers. Learn to swim. Here, let me give you a hint on how to swim.
Okay.
Just move,
Got it.
Just move your arms and legs.
I'm gonna write that
It's
down.
impossible not to be able to swim.
Just propel yourself through the water with your body.
And then with the humps, I'm gonna have to get a whole new wardrobe because now you're gonna have a hump.
No.
You're gonna need hump sacks on your shirts.
Dude, your clothes are so loose as they are. You're fine. You might even have a hump now, for all I know.
That's a hernia. But all in all, I go hump because I would want to be able to drink out of it, and I let other people drink out of it too.
Well, how are you going to get them to drink out of it? Yours is going to come through the body. But
Hump tap.
yeah, I mean, even now, would you put a hole in your body so your friends can party?
I'd get some sort of like colostomy bag-esque attachment.
You've got one anyway.
Oh God.
And here's the reason he has a colostomy bag: lazy. There's no physical ailments. There's nothing wrong with you. You're just too lazy.
I opted for the bag.
Yeah.
I'm going to get you a hump hoodie. So a nice little hood that can cover your hump.
I like that. I'm going hump. I want the hump.
Yeah, Humpty Hump.
Is the dance, do the hump.
Yeah, I said you were fat. That's the nuttiest. That's the nuttiest.
Oh yeah, I'm making money.
What's his name? Humpty Hump?
My name is Humpty, pronounced with the umpty.
And he just had that one hit. There was nothing else in his life.
Yeah, he did some other stuff, but that was really his one.
First of all, he's the greatest rapper who's ever lived, bar none.
Certainly the most stylish. I mean, he's rocking that fake nose and glasses, which is a great one.
Sure it was.
He had one other hit, the song from the Dan Aykroyd Chevy Chase movie in Jersey.
Would you call that a hit?
No.
Hitting hard.
What was the name of that group, too?
Digital Underground.
Yeah, I had a buddy that was in Digital Underground sometimes, but he didn't make that movie. But yeah, I forgot they were in that. Here's, I believe, Sean, because the way this is lined up. Either that or it's Ian in Pittsburgh. Go ahead, Ian.
Hey, it's Dean, Ron. But hey, if I choose the gills, will my hands get pruny?
I'm having trouble hearing in this room. Are you guys been able to pick them up?
No, I can't.
I picked them up through the headphones.
Well, if I put on these headphones, are we going to have problems in the room again?
Possibly.
All right, then why did we set up the phones? Why was that so important to set up when we were just cruising? Yeah, we're having the headphones
Is that
kick back. Yeah, that's just kicking back.
Yeah, that's just
Turn it
feedback.
off.
It's off.
Sorry, Sean, can't
Or
take your
Ian.
call. Why don't you try to turn on one of these headphones over here?
Yeah.
Technical difficulties.
I know, we were just cruising along, just loving life. Just loving life. And then what we had to do? We flew too close to the sun. Too close to the sun.
Our wings melted.
Yeah. Yeah, our wings got soggy and melt. By the way, would you want wings?
Yeah, sure. I would definitely take wings. There's no cons to wings.
Yeah, there is.
What?
Putting on a shirt.
I'm gonna get some wing slats for everything.
Oh, you know how tough it's going to be to tuck your wing through that little slat every time you want to go somewhere?
Actually, sitting in general is gonna be pretty. You're not gonna be able to.
No, I'll just float above it all. I'll just keep flapping my wings and float above it.
The only thing I don't like about wings is that I'm gonna assume that you're gonna get tired, just like anything. So you're gonna be floating. It'd be like running. somewhere all the time?
I don't know. I would say this. I would hate to have the wings because then I'd end up going to Hooters and just seeing dudes look at me. Like, those are some wings.
Would it gross you out to eat poultry of any kind then?
Good point. I don't know. I eat legs now and it doesn't bother me.
That's true.
I'll eat a shoulder, thigh, calf.
If I see a pigeon on the street and they're picking at food and I look and I see it's poultry, I get really freaked out. Have you ever seen like a bird like find a chicken wing or something in the garbage? I don't know why, but that always really disturbs me, and I just think they don't know what they're doing.
All right, well, hold on. Do you think a leopard would stalk and eat a house cat?
Well, yes, but
Thank you. No further questions.
Please question me further. I have more to say.